Hello, everybody. I'm just waiting for a few more people to come on board. We'll just hold tight for a few more minutes while we wait for people to finish their lunch and jump on. Hey, we're getting there. All right, we might get going. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this month's webinar, focusing on leveraging events and sponsorships, strategies for lasting impact. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. My name's Olivia Barry and I'm the director here at Wine Communicators of Australia, and I'm also the CEO of Mornington Peninsula Wine, the peak industry body representing the grape growers and winemakers of the Mornington Peninsula. I acknowledge that I'm hosting this webinar from the lands of the Bunurong Boonwurrung people. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all work today, and the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people participating in this webinar, including my fellow panellists. I pay my respects to the elders past and present and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of Australia. Today, our webinar discusses leveraging events and sponsorships and will be presented by Sarah Rashid. With nearly a decade in wine marketing, Sarah helps brands grow through strategic marketing, brand development, and events. Sarah works at Purple Giraffe in Adelaide, and she specialises in digital marketing, sponsorships, and audience engagement, ensuring every initiative aligns with the winery's vision and commercial goals. With a passion for elevating brands, she integrates creative and data-driven strategies to maximise impact and industry connections. We have allowed for plenty of time for any questions you may have to be answered at the end of the webinar. However, feel free to send them through to me as they come to mind. You can do this via the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Please try and put them in the Q&A as opposed to the chat, just in case we can't get to them today. And the Q&A box allows us to contact you after the webinar and answer any questions directly. As usual, this webinar will be recorded and a link to this recording will be sent to you should you wish to watch the content again at a later stage. It's now my pleasure to hand you over to today's presenter, Sarah Rashid.
Thank you, Olivia, and hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here. I know that everybody's busy and vintage is happening, so thank you so much. As Olivia mentioned, I'm a marketing consultant at Purple Giraffe, and I've been in the wine industry for nearly 10 years now. I'm very passionate about supporting Australian producers, both personally and professionally, and I just hope that you find today's webinar helpful and you either walk away with some golden nuggets or thinking, yep, we're doing all the right things. Without further ado, this is the roadmap for today. We'll run through events and sponsorship, ensuring you're leveraging both opportunities, and we'll go through them separately. So under events, we'll run through what kind of events will help you achieve event objectives, understanding your audience, so ensuring your event concept aligns with the audience, how to maximize your exposure, so ensuring your event, so what to do to get the best out of an event, what you should be doing post-event, so the afterplay, and then finally measuring success. For sponsorship, we'll run through the reasons to participate in sponsorships, ensuring that your sponsorship aligns with your brand, confirming that the sponsorship audience will be receptive and open to your sponsorship under understanding the audience, and then how to maximize your sponsorship opportunities, so what to do to make sure you're getting the most out of your sponsorship, and finally, again, measuring success. So why events matter for wineries? Events are more than just an opportunity to pour wine and chat with guests. They're a powerful tool for building brand loyalty, engaging new audiences, and creating memorable experiences that drive long-term customer relationships. So whether it's a trade event to secure distribution sales, or a consumer event to boost direct-to-consumer sales, each event should have a clear objective and strategy behind it. So some key benefits of winery events are increasing your brand awareness and standing out in a crowded market, storytelling and connection, sharing your winery's heritage, your sustainability practices and winemaking processes, your sales and lead generation, so converting guests into loyal customers or wine club members, and your industry influence, strengthening your trade relationships with distributors, retailers, and sommeliers. So with this in mind, we'll take a closer look at the different types of events and how to choose the right one for your winery. So types of events will help direct the purpose of your event. So an owned event are those that are winery hosted, so normally at your cellar door, and include types of events like product launches, masterclasses, vintage festivals, and wine club dinners. Consumer events are larger scale events, normally organised externally by companies or regional associations, including events like Pinot Palooza, Winter Reds, Cellar Door Fest, and the Good Food and Wine Show. And then you have your trade events. So these events will help to increase your opportunities for distribution and export for your brand. So events like Vinexpo Pro Wine and Wine Australia roadshows that I'm sure most of you would know about. Choosing the right event helps you align with the audience and maximize your exposure according to the purpose of the event. So I'm going to jump now straight into understanding your audience. So understanding the audience that's attending these types of events is going to help direct you in what your goals are and what you'll be aiming for from each event. So consumers, audiences seek unique experiences and a sense of value. They like storytelling, wine education, and the ability to connect with brands, whereas trade audiences seek things along like production insights and details, quantities available, and exclusivity. And once you know the type of event and audience likely to attend, you can leverage what they are seeking to align with the event. So how to maximize your exposure? There are a myriad of ways to maximize your exposure, and it's crucial for attracting attendees, engaging stakeholders, and achieving your event objectives. So over the next 2 slides, I've highlighted some effective strategies to enhance visibility and drive engagement for your event. So developing a strong online presence is crucial in this day and age. You could, for a particular event, and depending on the size of it, create a dedicated website or a landing page that provides all the relevant information, such as agendas, speakers, venue details, and registration links. From here, you should be looking at optimizing your current website's SEO. So not necessarily the one that you create for an event, but your current website. And you should be optimizing the content so search engines can find relevance and increase visibility on the event. And then content marketing. This is things like publishing blog posts, articles, and press releases related to your event on your website to improve the SEO. Another one that you should also be looking at, particularly for consumer events, is third-party online listings. So this is having your events listed on something like ATW, where that will pull through to relevant regional sort of websites so that your event has a lot of visibility online. And you could even consider creating an app depending on how big this event is. The other thing you should be doing is leveraging your social media. For owned consumer events, creating an event on Facebook is highly beneficial. Events appear in Facebook recommendations, exposing you to new potential attendees. People engage more with event pages than static posts, and it encourages organic sharing. If someone marks going or interested, their friends can see that in the feed. Consider creating an event hashtag. This can help consolidate social media conversations and increase your visibility. Posting regularly about the event on all relevant social media platforms, including teasers, announcements, and registration deadlines, is really important so people are kept up to date with what's happening. For trade events, posting from your company and personal LinkedIn accounts is also really powerful. And then something else you can consider is paid ads. So do you have budget to invest in a traffic campaign on social media or a retargeting campaign to reach a specific audience? This can help increase ticket sales and brand awareness. For influencer partnerships or influencer marketing, you could consider partnering with wine influencers or industry leaders to promote the event to their followers, which can help, again, reach a wider audience. For email marketing, sending targeted campaigns about an event is really important. So this is where you can send personalised email invites to your contact list with compelling reasons to attend the event. From here, you can split your list into attendees or non-attendees. So there you can send reminders for non-attendees. So things along the lines of key benefits, last chances to purchase tickets, just trying to keep those that haven't yet purchased tickets engaged. And then you can also share information to attendees, enhancing the excitement around the event. So things like 2 weeks to go and what you need to know about attending the event. You can also leverage networking and partnerships. So for trade events, again, leveraging your LinkedIn networks is a great way to maximize your exposure for events. Considering industry partnerships, you could collaborate with industry associations or media outlets and other relevant organisations to co-promote the event. And then consider also partnerships with each other. Are you able to link together with other wineries to complement the event? Utilising media is still really important. Engaging with wine journalists or local media to attend your event would be a wonderful achievement, or even just getting them to share press releases on your event will really help boost the exposure of your event. If you can get featured in magazines and newspapers or online newsletters that are popular among your target audience, you know, for example, McLaren Vale Great Wine and Tourism Association, can your event be featured in their industry newsletter? Or for a trade event, can you get your press release included in drinks trade? Community engagement is also really important. So this is engaging with online forums and groups related to the event and sharing insights and event news to generate interest. So I'm not sure how many of you are members of consumer groups on Facebook. Last night I was just having a quick search and had a look and brought up some stats from 3 Facebook groups that I found. So there's one called Adelaide Bots on Australia, and they have 19.8k members. So if you're posting in a group like that, you have the possibility to reach a really wide audience and hopefully people that are interested in what your winery is doing. In Sydney, there's Wine Lovers in Sydney. They have 2.2k members, but also even regional chats. So there was one for Adelaide Hills Chat, and that has 38,000 members. So these groups can really help broaden your reach. Another one under community engagement, not related to forums and groups, but something probably to keep in the back of your mind is local community boards. Can you post flyers or leave DL flyers or posters in areas with high foot traffic? You know, consider universities, cafes, or local business centres. Offering incentives also really helps maximise your exposure. So if you can help push your ticket sales with early bird ticket pricing or group discounts, helps to increase the number of attendees. And then running contests and giveaways. So where you can give away free event tickets to generate buzz through encouraging shares on social media. And then finally, you should track and optimize everything that's happening. So using your analytics tools like Google Analytics to track the effectiveness of your promotional strategies and make data-driven adjustments. By integrating these kinds of strategies, you can significantly enhance the exposure of your event ensuring it reaches the appropriate audience and achieves its intended impact. Now, just because an event has finished doesn't mean that you can stop all the work that went into it. So after an event, it's important to follow up to maximise the impact of the event. It will help you solidify relationships and set the stage for future interactions. So with your communication, consider sending follow-up thank you emails. These should be sent within 24 to 48 hours after an event. And you should send a personalised thank you email to attendees, sponsors and speakers. For attendees, a simple thank you along with a highlight reel of the event can reignite their positive experience. For speakers and sponsors, you could tailor these emails to reflect their specific contributions, possibly including data on their sessions, attendance or engagement. The next step should be the strategic follow-up of leads. So this is where you categorise each lead, hot, warm or cold, and tailor your follow-up strategy. Utilise CRM tools to automate follow-ups, just so you ensure that no potential connection slips through the cracks. Surveys are also really useful. Sending out a survey immediately after the event helps capture feedback on what the experience was like for attendees while it's still fresh in their minds. And then you can ask them about what they most enjoyed and where you can improve. This data is really valuable for planning your future events, and tools you can use are as simple as SurveyMonkey or Google Forms. For your social media management, media engagement, maintaining the buzz around your event is crucial, and social media is a powerful tool. So posting comprehensive recaps of the event on all your social media platforms. Consider using dynamic content like video clips and quotes from attendees. And then encouraging, again, attendees to share their own posts under the event hashtag to extend the reach. If people are commenting, posting or sharing the experience at your event, it's vital that you're responding. A like is not really good enough in response to a comment on your post. So I'd really encourage you to take the time and send thank yous to people who are spending the time to respond to your posts. If you receive constructive feedback, always acknowledge it professionally. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We'll take this into consideration for future events. So just very important that people are responding to people that are taking the time out to post on social media about your event. And then you can nurture your relationships. So it's about building long-term connections. So here you have ongoing communication, continuing to engage with the audience through regular newsletters, updates about upcoming events or exclusive offers. Always aim to provide value in every communication so that they'll be more likely to stay engaged. And then consider community building. So this is where you could make a more permanent space for an event for people who have attended. So I'm not sure how many of you have private Facebook groups where people share information or comment on your wine, but you could create a winery Facebook group where you invite your followers to join these groups, and then you can also share with them information ahead of events, and it could also almost be like a place where they get pre-release information before you then post it on your social media accounts. And then finally, measuring your success. So as you close out any event, one of the most crucial steps is to measure its success. This not only helps to understand your achievements and areas for improvement, but also informs your strategies for the future. So begin with your performance analysis. Review the event against your initial objectives. Were those goals met? For instance, if one objective was to increase brand awareness, did you see a measurable uptick in social media engagement or website traffic during the event? Next, you align your outcomes with the top line success measures. So this involves looking at hard data, such as the number of attendees, feedback scores if you're sending out surveys, and whether the logistical aspects ran smoothly. calculating the ROI is essential to understanding the economic impact of your event. So tangible benefits, this includes quantifying the direct returns, which might include ticket sales, sponsorship revenue, wine club sign-ups, and wine sales. This will help you directly relate financial gains to event costs. And then consider intangible aspects, such as brand strengthening and the generation of potential leads. While harder to quantify, these can be gauged through changes in brand perception surveys or increases in followers and engagement on social platforms. And then some further metrics to analyse. Logistics, so how effective was the event setup, management and pack down? Were there any logistical hiccups that impacted the attendee experience, and how can these be improved? Review metrics on your social media, such as likes, shares, comments, and hashtag usage to understand how engaging the event was online. For your website traffic, again, analysing spikes in website traffic in the lead up to the event. High traffic can indicate strong interest generated by your promotional activities, and you can do this through Google Analytics. For email marketing, look at your open rates, click-through rates, conversion rates, and unsubscribes of emails. This measures how effectively you captured and retained the audience interest. For retention rates, this is for recurring events. So comparing the number of repeat attendees, which is vital for understanding the long-term engagement and loyalty of people that are attending your events. And this can also be applied to mailing list signups. And again, feedback, gathering and analysing attendee feedback from your surveys or comments on social media to measure satisfaction and gather qualitative data on their experiences will once again provide insight into what worked and what didn't from the attendee perspective. All right, moving on to sponsorship. Now, I've taken this slide from one of the previous wine communicators webinars that I watched with Holly Formosa. She did this for events, and I thought this was really clever, so I've sort of made it work for sponsorship. So sponsorship is a strategic marketing and promotional tool used to enhance visibility, build brand awareness, and achieve specific marketing objectives through the support of events, organisations, or individuals. It involves a business relationship where a sponsor provides funding, resources, or services to a sponsored party. So this could be an event, a team, or an individual in exchange for marketing and promotional opportunities. So today we're going to look at this from the perspective of you being asked to be a sponsor. And here, having sponsorship objectives is going to help you reach your sponsorship purpose. And in this slide, you can see some common reasons for becoming a sponsor. So you have revenue generation, wine orders, brand awareness, expansion into new markets, lead generation, a number of qualified leads acquired, CSR, so aligning with internal CSR policies. Product showcasing, potentially you have the opportunity to do an exclusive product launch or an exclusive tasting experience. And community engagement, so involvement in community-oriented initiatives and recognition as a community supporter. And then finally, enhanced credibility, association with well-known brands or charities to enhance your credibility. Firstly, to make sure it's successful, you need to have brand alignment. So you need to make sure there's an authentic connection with your brand and the person requesting sponsorship. You should have shared values that create a natural partnership. The sponsorship should resonate with both of your audiences, not just your sponsor audience or not just your audience. And it builds trust and credibility, enhancing brand loyalty. Excuse me. I saw a really good example of this online earlier this year with McLaren Vale-based winery Hither and Yon, who have partnered with Adelaide Fringe Festival 2025. So they're an official beverage sponsor, and they shared on their social media earlier this year about their partnership state, and in their social media post, they had that their values align closely with Adelaide Fringe. And I have those values here. So they said, including being innovative, supporting emerging talent, providing a platform for artists to share their unique perspectives, celebrating diversity, and bringing people together. This is a great example of a sponsorship that aligns with their brand and they're showing this to their audience. A critical aspect of your sponsorship strategy is understanding your sponsor's audience. So as a winery looking to make meaningful connections through sponsorship, the success of your effort hinges on how well you know and engage with the audience involved. So starting with the basics in demographics, knowing the age, gender, income, and location of the audience helps you tailor your promotional activities effectively. And then moving deeper, psychographics give us insights into the audience's interests, preferences, values, and lifestyle. This is where we align our branding to resonate more profoundly. If the audience values sustainability, you can highlight your sustainable winemaking and packaging processes, packaging for your winery or organic ingredients, ensuring that your messaging strikes a chord. For consumer behaviour, this reveals how the audience spends their money and interacts with media, guiding your marketing tactics. If their audience frequently engage with brands on social media, you can leverage these platforms to promote your partnership or your participation in an event or a sponsorship or partnership with a charity or organisation utilising targeted ads and interactive posts. Understanding engagement levels is crucial. Here you look at how the audience interacts with the event. So is there a pattern of active participation or is it passive attendance? So this influences how you plan your activities, perhaps incorporating more interactive elements like tastings to boost engagement. Brand loyalty tells us that the audience is Brand loyalty tells us about the audience's existing commitments. So are they dedicated to a particular brand? This knowledge can help to position your winery uniquely, ensuring you stand out or offer something completely different. And finally, knowing the audience's expectations and previous experiences guides your sponsorship execution. Learning from past events or sponsorships and adjusting your approach, ensuring you meet or exceed expectations, whether through exclusive offers, unique experiences, or exceptional service. So how to maximise sponsorship opportunities. You should always be negotiating the terms of sponsorship, making sure that you get the most out of it, and ensuring that whoever you're sponsoring is delivering value to both your winery and your audience. So firstly, it's crucial to negotiate the terms meticulously. So this negotiation sets the foundation for a successful partnership. It ensures the terms align with your business goals, covering aspects such as the duration of the sponsorship, expected deliverables from both parties, and the metrics for success. Exclusivity. Securing exclusivity in your product category is a key strategy. This prevents competitors from sharing the spotlight at the event, ensuring that your brand remains the focal point for attendees interested in your product type. So exclusivity enhances brand visibility and can drive higher engagement rates at events. And then you need to be negotiating branding opportunities. So maximising these across the event could involve having your logo prominently displayed on event materials, including banners, brochures, or product placement at the event. And then you should also be looking at digital media, such as placement on their website, so being included as a sponsor on their website with your logo linking back to your website, dedicated social media posts, and potential for a direct collaboration email where the sponsor will be sending an email out to their database about your winery. For sales opportunities, looking for sales opportunities as part of the sponsorship could be through special event promotions, so exclusive sales for attendees, or setting up a booth where products can be sampled and purchased at, or for things like club sponsorships, could there be an on-premise or pouring opportunity? These sales opportunities can provide immediate revenue and valuable customer feedback. Moving across to how you can maximize the sponsorship yourself. Use your website to support the sponsorship. Create a dedicated landing page for the sponsorship. It helps funnel visitors directly to relevant information and enhancing their engagement, improving conversion rates on your website. This page can feature details, special offers, showcase your partnership story and why this sponsorship aligns with your winery's values. For content marketing, again, leveraging content marketing to tell the story of your sponsorship. This can include blog posts, feature articles, and even behind the scenes content that highlights your involvement and supports the narrative of the event or cause that you are supporting. You should leverage your social media as well. It's, again, another powerful tool. I know I've said it a few times. For event sponsorship, you can do collaborative posts on platforms like Instagram, where the post will come from both yourself and the sponsor. So that would enhance your reach of the posts. You should also look to create content that is engaging. So videos, stories, or reels can significantly increase your reach. For email marketing, incorporating mentions of the sponsorship in your email marketing campaign could be a really powerful way that you can include the sponsorship in your communication to your audience. So for example, a block in an email that goes out to, that's included in your regular newsletters, or perhaps you just want to do a feature email and you send that out to your audience as well. Don't overlook traditional media. Distributing press releases to local news outlets and industry publications can highlight your role as a sponsor, the reasons behind your involvement, and any community impact from the event or sponsorship. So this not only boosts your visibility, but can enhance your credibility in the industry too. By following these strategies, you ensure that each sponsorship you undertake is not just an expense, but a significant investment into your brand's growth and visibility. And these efforts can help cement your position as a key player in the industry, driving both the immediate and long-term benefits. Finally, it's crucial to measure the success of your efforts to understand the impact and refine your strategy for future initiatives. So again, performance analysis. First, you conduct a performance analysis. This means revisiting the initial objectives you set out for the sponsorship. Did you achieve these goals that you aim for? This could be anything from brand awareness and market expansion to specific sales targets. By comparing your outcomes with these predefined objectives and top-line success measures, you get a clear view of where you excelled and where there's room for improvement. Your return on investment, again, you calculate this, which is crucial in evaluating the financial efficiency of the sponsorship. This isn't just about immediate revenue generated. You can also consider the intangible benefits, which could be brand recognition, the establishment of valuable industry contacts, or improvements in customer loyalty. Both tangible and intangible returns give a comprehensive view of the sponsorship's value. Then you can dive deeper into specific metrics that offer further insights. So here is brand perception. How has the sponsorship affected public perception of your brand? Surveys and social media analytics can provide data on how perceptions have shifted, indicating the sponsorship's impact on your brand image. Then sponsorship engagement. This is where you assess the audience, how engaged the audience was with your sponsored activities. If it was for an event, did your interactive sessions engage the audience's interest? How did your social media campaigns perform? High engagement rates often correlate with greater brand affinity and deep consumer relationships in email marketing. And on social media as well. For partnership satisfaction, it's important to gauge the satisfaction levels of all parties involved. So you need to make sure that the sponsorship is giving you some benefit. So successful partnerships are likely to lead to continued sponsorship, or otherwise you may drop off of that sponsorship and look for something else that's actually going to meet the satisfaction of what you're after. For the quality of leads, lastly, you evaluate the quality of the leads generated through the sponsorship. Are they likely to convert to sales? Do they represent significant potential for future business? This metric helps to quantify the value of networking and engagement efforts associated with the sponsorship. And then by systematically analysing these aspects, you ensure that you not only comprehend the full scope of your sponsorship success, but also gather vital insights that can inform your future sponsorship strategies. This structured approach allows you to maximise the ROI of your efforts and continuously improve your engagement and impact in the market. Finally, I've just put down some key takeaways that I think are probably the most important to remember from the presentation. So building your community is critical. So creating communities around your brand enhances brand loyalty. Events and sponsorships should strengthen long-term connections with customers, trade partners, and industry stakeholders. And make sure you respond to your community. Feedback is powerful. Make sure you're engaging with people at events or sponsors and partners to understand what worked and what can be improved, and making sure you, as I mentioned before, you're commenting on social media posts. Finally, measuring your success. You can't improve what you don't measure. So make sure you set clear KPIs, track your engagement, analyze event and sponsorship performance to refine future strategies. And that is everything I had for presenting, and just open to questions if anybody has any.
Thanks, Sarah. Amazing. There's so much to keep on top of, isn't there?
There is, I'm sorry, and there's so much, and I feel like I just skimmed the surface, but if anybody needs more information, please feel free to reach out.
I know you guys, Purple Giraffe, have got some fantastic templates and things, and it's really nearly, I feel like we need a tick box of digestible chunks of things that you need to consider in each of the sections. Is that something that you guys have got?
We do have checklists, yes, that we provide, that we would be able to provide for events. So we can have we have a little events checklist, and then I also have a sponsorships checklist.
Yeah, fantastic. Because just going through all that, and I just did a big event, 600 people on Sunday, and that's really great to refresh your memory. Okay, don't forget to do this and this and this, and write my thank you letters and things like that. So it'd be great to have those kinds of templates handy to put in your task list when you're doing an event. To don't forget, you need to do all these bits and pieces.
Yes.
So if you could share that, that would be really
absolutely. Yeah, of course, we'd love to.
The other thing is that really resonates strongly is measuring, and recapping, analysis, and you're never there yet, are you?
Oh no, absolutely. There's always something to improve, but it doesn't mean that what you're doing is bad. I would like to reiterate that, but I think we should always be seeking feedback from your customers or people who are attending, because they're the people that are actually having the experience. From our perspective, when we're there running it, we might think it's all going wonderfully, and your sales might be fantastic, and that could be an absolute great reflection. But as long as you're getting that feedback as well from people that are attending, that's the only way you're really going to know that it's successful.
Yeah. And the events landscape's really changing, isn't it? I mean, the way people engage and purchase. It's hard to actually predict how people are going to behave, but things are becoming, more and more last minute, which is a nightmare. But yeah, just keeping on top of those socials is really, really important.
Yes, yeah, and you do see that a lot across, particularly like music festivals. All of those have been cancelled because last minute ticket sales. So I guess for you as running an event, you need to make sure that you understand your audience, so what their behavior is like. Are they going to be last minute purchases, or are they going to be purchasing ahead? I do think that sort of early bird ticketing and group discounting is a really great way to get like initial interest in the event, so you can see how that's going to perform. And then as you move on and potentially your early bird pricing finishes, you have for second release pricing and then third release pricing and fourth release pricing. That's a really great way that you can sort of try and encourage people to purchase earlier.
Yeah, instead of waiting till last minute.
Yes.
Now, I've got a question here from Mary. Can you provide an idea of what is a reasonable spend for sponsorships? I know it's horses for courses, however, a guide of real-world examples for, say, Fringe or Festival would be good. What value of free wine? Like, let's break this up. There's a couple of pieces to this. So, it really depends on the event, I guess.
Yeah, and your winery's budget. That's really important. I don't want anybody to be spending more than they actually have available to spend. I think you need to pick and choose and try and maximize as much as you can with what the budget is that you have to sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of a percentage, is there a rule of thumb of percentages or not really? Is it's kind of
No, that's a really good question, and I honestly do not have the answer off the top of my head. I know quite a few of the wineries that I work with set a budget per year, and once they cap out on that, that's what they cap out on, and that's their sponsorship budget done. I know plenty of other wineries that, for example, sponsor only one charity or foundation a year, and they are happy to donate whatever they can to that charity, but they just cap it with that. And then I also have seen recently on quite a few winery websites that they have sponsorship landing pages. So this is where people they have their values, and then they have a little sort of form where they ask a lot of questions about what people are actually seeking for the sponsorship. Is it funds? Is it donation of products? Potentially they have a winery accommodation. Is it use of the winery accommodation? So that they supply all of that information on that landing page, and then the winery can evaluate if that is going to align with them and their brands, and they have the ability to assist.
Good tips. So another part of this question is, what value of free wine and to what sort of amount, or should you just have your cost of goods covered?
Sorry, say that again, Olivia.
What value of free wine and to what sort of amount, or should you get your cost of goods covered? So how much wine should we be giving away rather than just covering the cost of goods to do the event, the partnership?
I think that depends on the level of investment that you're willing to put in. I know a couple of wineries that sponsor large gala dinners, and they donate, for example, the wines for that gala dinner, but they also donate a portion of sales from a particular month to that charity. So I'm sorry, I find that a very hard question to answer.
Yeah, I sometimes find that again depends on the property and what you're sponsoring, but sometimes it can be a 1-for-1. So you sponsor half and then they pay for the other half.
Yeah.
But yeah, depending on the event, really, I guess. But that's something to be negotiated.
Yes, yeah, negotiate, yes.
So just a query on some of the social platforms. Where do you see LinkedIn in the suite of digital media platforms?
I think LinkedIn is incredibly important for trade networking. So I strongly advise anybody that is in positions of managerial positions to share information on their business from their personal accounts, as well as sharing information on their business LinkedIn accounts. Your personal networks are likely going to be larger than the business networks. So I think that's really critical. And you don't have to create a post from scratch. You can just share it directly from the business LinkedIn account. So I think that's a really important platform that often gets overlooked. Again, though, using it for trade predominantly.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, another question here, this is from Marcus. What do you think about including influencers in the campaign to advertise, promote, and collaborate in wine events?
I think this sort of goes, you tied in a little bit towards sponsorship. So are they aligned with your brand, or are you just using somebody that's really popular on social media?
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth reaching out to influencers who are, I don't know, like risky daredevils. Like I don't know what collaboration that has with wine. So I would be focusing on people. And there's quite a few wine influencers online now as well who actually are interested in wine and have a wider audience, but they don't also have to be thousands of followers. They can be micro influencers, particularly if they're in your state. So connecting with a local Sydney influencer, if you're a Hunter Valley winery, that could work for you.
Nice one, thank you. Now, another question. How do you measure brand awareness as part of return on investment after an event or partnership?
Yeah, okay. So one way that you can do this, and I know that it's an intangible sort of measure, but one thing that you can do is look at the increase of followers on your social media. So over an event, have you increased in followers? So that way you're reaching new markets and then gaining new people following you. Another thing you can do is look at how many views of your website there are through Google Analytics. So for example, you have an event coming up and you have a landing page. How many people have viewed that page? Sorry.
Thank you. Another one is about content development. So I think that developing the right content to align with events is really important.
Mm-hmm.
How do you yeah, I guess it's more of a statement than a question, really. I'm just going through your presentation going, we need to create content, but then often you don't have content on the shelf. You have to go and allocate a fair budget toward making sure those values and those images align to the brand that you're with.
Yeah, look, and this is something that I would recommend for people with events. Please make sure you're planning it well in advance of the event and not doing a last minute event, because that's going to give you the time to set aside, for example, pick a day, say 12 weeks in advance of your event, you can plan all of your social media posts related to that event to go out. So you actually you're setting the time aside, you're ahead of the schedule. You can create a Word document and just type in your copy into the Word document that you think you'll post, or if you have a scheduling platform, you can schedule it on that scheduling platform. I know not everybody does, so that's where the Word document comes in handy. And you just put times, you add your images next to it, so do it like a table, and then from there you can be organized in planning out that content that you're going to be sharing. Things that are really engaging for events are things like giveaways, like I mentioned. So that's really important. I think for consumer events, you need to be posting mostly in the event group. So once your early bird, once the early bird pricing ticketing is sold out, post that in that group and say, now it's time for the second round ticketing pricing. Make sure you get in quick so you don't miss out. So I think the content can be created ahead of time, and it can be really strategic so that it enhances people's I should say, has a call to action to drive people to buy tickets or to attend.
Perfect, thank you. Which follows really well, and in fact, Corinne Nissen from Gretton has just popped this question in. I was thinking about the same thing. Are you able to recommend any planning tools or project management platforms for event management?
Yes. Personally, I use ClickUp, which is great for scheduling out tasks. There are others like I think it's Later, although that might be a social media platform only. But there are others that people use that you can use to plan events. But basically what it will do is you can create the task, then you do subtasks. So what needs to be done within a time frame. It can send you an email saying that this needs to be done today or it's overdue, so that you get the reminder that that task needs to be completed. I do know for small wineries, investing in platforms like that is potentially not feasible. So a Google spreadsheet, and you have all of your key dates planned out, and you have week by week what needs to be done, and just ticking it off with a different color highlight box can also be really helpful.
Cool. And also Some AI tools. Are you guys using many AI tools to help with content generation or planning or analytics?
Like we use it to, yes, we do use it to sort of investigate, but not so much for creating content that we need to perform well. AI is still learning and experimental, although I do love to put things into ChatGPT every now and then,
Yeah.
but
Give it a
but
tidy
always
up.
with a human touch after that.
Yeah.
Never directly exactly what's being put into ChatGPT.
Be a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what mailing list platforms most people have signed up with, but I know that Klaviyo has recently released an AI tool that's quite helpful and can help segment your database based on rules that you can put in. So that's pretty handy. Yeah, so just be cautious of AI.
Yes. Use it wisely.
Yeah.
Terrific. Thank you, Sarah. We'll wrap up for today. Your insights are really valuable, and a reminder, as you said earlier, of things to get on your list and make sure you're attending to. So thank you to everybody who attended. Our next webinar will be on Tuesday, the 8th of April. We're finalising the details on that, so keep your eye on our website and socials for more information. And also, as a reminder, for Wine Communicator members, all recordings from previous webinars are held on our website under the education section. Can't speak. If you have any suggestions on webinar topics that you'd like us to cover, we'd really like to hear about them. So please please email us at I really can't speak. WCA@winecommunicators.com.au. Thank you all again for joining us, and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.